did it in fluorescent paint, so it glows in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain. And Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late.
Did she get sick?
Not right away.
Well, that's awful. And that's not all. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogen, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and blaming kids. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmen there. But Jesus loves us, as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother, Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. Charlie said, "No herdmans." That made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But good old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans.
All that other stuff is okay, but the main good reason about church is that the herdmans aren't there. Ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst ones.
Well, Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you,
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's mean and she's fast and she bites.
Sorry I asked. Just stay away from all them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think of how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think of how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually I didn't plan to go.
Bob.
You know how crowded it always is. They can use my seat. I'll just stay home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different about it this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just stop that up. Grace?
why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because Charlie can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in a manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know Mrs. Armstrong works very hard if you ever want a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. She directs the pageant, she runs the potluck supper, she's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes?
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital, because that's where she is. I saw George at the drugstore, and he told me his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the first of the year.
The first of the year? Well, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, and she's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar, Edna, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we're going to do about the pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
Oh, I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
How about Grace?
Hello? Hello? Grace? Bob?
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
mother of Jesus.
Oh, I know that, Helen. I was just wondering.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain it.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. In fact, we need salt and pepper. Oh, and napkins.
And I tell them, there are no small parts, only small actors.
You'll leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. We heard Herdman stole my lunch today.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's in the oven.
I'll get it.
You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they get in each other's way and bend their wings. Oh, Bob could do that. And he could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir. Don't let them wear too much lipstick.
I have to go, Helen. There's someone at my door.
They think just because it's a play that they have to wear lipstick, and it looks terrible on them. So just tell them that they look beautiful as hell.
Someone at my door, Helen. I'll talk to you later.
I
Yes.
haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
For heaven's sake, it's you.
I was very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen feels pretty lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you about no small parts and only small actors.
Yeah, and getting someone to shove the baby angels on stage and to make the shepherds be quiet.
Yes. She suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Yes.
And Grace, don't get just anyone's baby to play Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get 2 if you can. Then if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them, and no one will ever know the difference. And it just...
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. If you need help, hang up and then dial